and welcome to today's interview. I'm Emzy from Ghazt Management. Today we're here with Yogi. Thank you so much for being here.
No problem, thanks for having me.
So, you ready for some questions?
Go ahead, yeah.
When did you first start making music?
When did I first start? I was quite late after a lot of my friends had already been learning guitar and things. Really loved music, but it wasn't really until I was sort of 16, 17 that I became really passionate about creating sort of my own sound and something. And that time I was going to see a lot of live acts, and I saw Rage Against the Machine at Reading Festival, and I think that's just, once you see that, your life's changed really. And it wasn't necessarily that, but just the experience of going to live gigs and really thinking this is what I'd want to sort of dedicate my time to.
How would you describe music?
I guess kind of raw, kind of hip hop, trip hop kind of stuff. I guess I like to keep it quite rough and ready. I don't not really a perfectionist, and if it sounds good, I like heavy bass, kicks, snares, and it's ready to go. I do a lot of the initial creating at home. In a studio, we've got an MPC and an SP404 sampler. Use those two, and then I'll find a vocalist if I'm working with a singer. I'll try and get her into a studio, or often I'll put a demo down in my home studio. But things like vocals, you want them recorded professionally, so we'll try and get in a studio around the corner or anything that we can. My home studio stuff, that's released independently, so I'll do a video to go along with the release that comes out on Bandcamp, and try and I do a lot of the media video along with everything, so I quite like to give something more than just a track when I do the release myself.
What does hip hop mean to you?
That's an interesting question, I think, because everyone comes to hip hop with their own idea. That's why there's always so many arguments online. But to answer the question, hip hop to me, I came to it with a Tribe Called Quest. I came to it quite late, sort of only about 5 or 6 years ago. And I really like the humble, down-to-earth attitude of kind of the mid to late 90s sort of stuff. When I'd first heard things like Dr. Dre, I like the music, but it didn't really appeal to me lyrically. It was when I started hearing things like People Under the Stairs and Tribe Called Quest, and that real kind of rough, raw, kind of down-to-earth attitude you get from hip-hop. That's what it means for me, anyway.
He was a really cool stage name.
Thank
How
you.
did you come across choosing it?
Well,
Related to the bear by any chance?
yeah. Basically, I had my first gig, and we were trying to make a gig poster, and we were all cartoons, and somebody picked a cartoon of a bear for me, because we were like 15, and I was like the first kid to get a beard, basically, so it was like a hairy guy. And then I went through a few different names. I was in Bristol, and a friend of mine said, you're a bear, you've always been the bear. Why don't you just go with Yogi? So, it kind of stuck. It works really nicely, I think. So I did go and watch a lot of the early Yogi Bear cartoons, try and get samples, and things like that, and they're terrible. They're really bad.
So you wouldn't be using it anymore?
No, I took maybe 2 or 3 samples, and there's no comedy. I don't know. I think Hanna-Barbera at the time were just making something to be there, but yeah.
Amazing. So if you could perform at any venue, any in the world, any that you might have dreamt of, which would it be?
Always wanted to play a big festival, probably even the smaller stage at Glastonbury would be great, because that brings together such a wide range of people. But venue-wise, I'm not actually, other countries, I'd love to play in other countries, and I'm sure that is in the works actually.
Do you want to tour maybe around Europe first?
Exactly. I work with a lot of people in different countries, so last year I went to Romania and things like that, so it really excites me, sort of the idea of going. So I work with someone in Holland, going to Holland to meet him, but also then have a gig at the same time, so I'm trying to work out the logistics of that, and that would be a big dream for me.
You want to collaborate with Rage Against the Machine?
Yeah, big time. God, if I could get access to some of their stems or anything, that would be incredible. But collaboration-wise, I'd love to collaborate with the singer from Portishead. She never does anything, or even interviews, but she just has this tone that when you hear it, it's just magical.
You should approach her.
Maybe. People who pay her lots of money, she still says no to, so you never know, but yeah. Yeah, hope.
Yogi, please go
Thank you very much. That was a weak clap as well.